Hello. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time of day it is for y'all. I am not fully awake or like functional, and that's because I had a super late night and woke up really late because I had like a stupid amount of jello shots like right at the end of the night. But it's fine. It's fine. So, we are gonna make sure. Yes. Great. Uh, okay. Great. Fantastic. So I have the race going. I don't really have a plan for today. Uh, let's see. Ooh, oh, staff. Not nice. Woohoo. Okay. Now that that's a thing. Um, yeah. So I have, let's switch over to this view. I have clicking buttons that I shouldn't be clicking. I added some extra support to the bar, so there's now some skewers in the background underneath, keeping that a little sturdier. I need to make more floor tiles. I know that. So I might work on that. That might be the easiest thing because then I gotta figure out how many like bar stools, how many more. So let's see. That's two, three. Put one here, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10 total bar stools. I think that'll be functional. So let me make a note of that. Uh, so 10 eggs, bar stools, and I have two. I need to figure out how many tables and chairs, but I need to see the whole layout. Um, I gotta figure out like this wall over here is going to be a solid wall. This wall is going to have a door, but I need like it's not going to line up perfectly with the floor tiles. So I need to figure out more of what I want to do with that. So my notebook is over there. So I think I will, for the sake of ease and not really having much of a brain at the moment, I cut down some more pieces to make the floor. So we're just gonna work on that because that's a nice, simple, low brain power thing. my mic. Hello? Okay. Said I'm not going to mute my mic every time I eat chips. I'm also not going to count while trimming pieces. I'll count once so I can record it if I use the last piece before I manage to cut an extra one. So that is now scrap. This will be the height of the wall, which actually might be the perfect length. Huh, that might actually work out very nicely. I love it when plans come together without actually trying. Okay. I haven't eaten much, so chips. So I think I have to pay attention in order to make the floors sort of line up properly in the grand scheme of things. I believe. And so if I go this way, I need to start going the opposite direction. Yeah, okay. So we're going to start with the opposite one first. Because I need two going one way, two going the other way. Well, we'll tilt this back towards me. So again, you can kind of see what I'm doing as I make it up. I just want to say a happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. And I gotta make sure I count this first one. Just to make sure I don't screw it up and have to undo half these stitches. So that is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Eleven. What's this? 12. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. One more. Four, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. We're gonna, during the next ad break, I'm gonna share the stream a little bit because I haven't posted in some of the other groups I'm part of. Here. I want to go this way. This way. We're gonna attempt to avoid splitting the thread, but at a certain point, it's just not worth fighting with. So here. We're gonna tie this off. these off. Make sure everything's pulled through as much as it's going to get. And we'll pull that through later. We're going to trim off these other little tails that are trying to escape. Again, these scissors are not the best. Put that there. Oops. Nope. This is what happens when I'm in La La Land. I'm gonna not pull that all the way through. I'm gonna pull that a little bit closer. With this large, like, diagonal stitch that I'm doing, it does make it a little harder to hide the end. But that's okay. Means I have to be a little bit more careful. Oh, why? Hold that steady. Okay. We got not again. Wow. Okay. It's good. Let's see how I no. What other open this real quick. We're going to share. Where is the share option? We're gonna close that now, and I'm gonna come over here, on here. What's this yelling about? So that's great. We're gonna come here, share your streams here. Here. And I'll figure this out eventually and have a better idea of going. And one other place I want to post. Remember what tab I need open. If things load properly.
This is what you got, right? This was their home track too. Yeah. Divert. I move around and find grip better than the dirt race. There you go. I just started that over. Well, thanks for coming by. Good luck. All right. Yeah, thank you guys.
Great. Okay. Fantastic.
Continue right here from the teammates of 2311, Bubba Wallace and Tyler Reddick. They have both had some success here in Kansas last fall at the Speedway here. Ross Chastain won his only race of the year.
Yeah, sure, fine, whatever. Okay. Again, I'm a little all over the place. Okay, great, fine. We are good. Okay, push that in. Get some more chips. Okay. Great. Fantastic. Great. I can leave this over there. Ignore that. Fantastic.
Clearly, it's possible. Talk to your doctor about Advil sprays.
This is definitely one of those. I got a super late start to today. Normally, I manage to wake up like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, the latest. I didn't wake up till almost 11 today. And then I had to go grocery shopping. Then I had to make sure, because queen of procrastination over here. I had to get Mother's Day cards from me and Dad for Mom. And of course, the store I was grocery shopping at didn't have any left. So it was very much a little bit of a chaotic start to today.
It's that difficult. Perhaps that's a good position. Well, if you're looking for the best tea here in Kansas, the Hendrick tea, they've gone from
Hello,
20
Dig. Welcome in. Welcome in, Raiders.
of its 80 all-time wins.
Let's see. I have an emote that's appropriate. I think. Yeah, here we go. I have emotes now. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. I am working on floor tiles today because I don't have the brain power for much else. So I am making another one of these, but this time it's going in the opposite direction. So when it sits up next to it, the pattern lines up. So it's been a pretty slow morning, uh, mostly because it took me forever to get going. But happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there.
It's interesting that I say my son. That still hasn't set in yet. It's helped me understand that I can work harder. So for me, I've found that
I hope everyone's Sunday mornings, Sunday afternoons are going good so far.
it takes you away from a lot of good memories. And, I told myself, I need to start living more through his eyes. Just driving,
But
coming through
yeah,
Kansas
no,
City
we're
was
just kind of keeping it chill this morning. Since yesterday was a race day and we don't get back from the track till after midnight.
I look down there in the garage and see race cars being pushed around. And it's the same sight I seen when I was 9 years old. Now I'm 8 years in the Cup. Where I'm at today, I got to go out there and do my part for my family. If there's a challenge in front of me, I'm in.
We got the fun RPG bot hanging in the chat.
MJ's told me, if you know you're not going to a situation and lose, then you don't participate. Except the nature of a good competitor. When I got into big shoes to fill with MJ and investing so much time, effort, money, then we all know what happens when being in control of our destiny.
There should also be an extension down below the video that you can use to help make the RPG bot a little easier to visualize. Go over here. No, let me go here. I think I went the wrong direction. Appreciate the lurk, Dig. I could definitely use a nap myself. Not to pierce the thread. It's definitely an interesting, thing to think about is just how much uh so normally you use like these plastic canvas sheets um to make smaller things, but since I'm using to build a whole set, you use a lot more than you're expecting to do. What I am currently working on is, so I have this, which is a floor tile for a set that I am working on. I will tilt the camera. As you can kind of see, I am building a bar for a stop motion animation um, project. So not full blown stop motion animation, but like slideshow stop motion animation, where um, I have these little posable dolls that are my actors. This is her bar, so she'll be, back there. And I'm, rather than buying or, uh, you know, making things out of wood or whatnot, I have the plastic canvas because I like to do yarn crafts. So I'm currently working on number 2 out of 4 of these floor tiles. So this whole thing will be able to be laid next to each other. If I can find my props. Here, your whiskey is going to be in a teacup. Here you go. She has it waiting for you. Either that or you can have whatever draft beer is on tap. See, I'm surprised you even use like a glass. I certainly don't, and I'll just drink it straight out of the bottle. So, tilting this back over to the crafting space because this is just, you have to be like on top of yourself while you're manipulating these. It's just easier to have it pointed this way. Okay. So we got this. Looping this around. That's still a bit more twisted than I would have liked, but that's okay. On this side, now we're gonna Catch the tails. And we're coming up on an ad break, so I will see y'all after the ad break. I don't know what type of ads it runs. Not catch the threads. There we go. Try and keep these from getting too twisted. Catch the tail again. Once I have at least one row of the pattern, it gets a little easier to line things up. Ow. Oh. So how's your Sunday going, Base? And welcome back from the ads. I'm trying to keep this in frame to the point where you guys can see it. Trying to maneuver it so I'm not accidentally stabbing myself is, definitely kind of one of the priorities. I don't know what these sort of notes are going to help you with, but I'm definitely, not on the top of my game today. It is a struggle. And again, I thought we already established several times over that I just wing it. Hi, how's it going? Tomato. That's how I'm gonna end up saying your name all the time. Welcome in, welcome in. I am continuing to lay down floor tiles. That is the fun and exciting Sunday morning project because I need a grand total of 4 of these at least. This is the floor for the bar. And because I want to have enough that I can lay everything out, probably not on my desk because there's not enough like room for this. So I have the floor. This will be the next section of it. There'll be one up here that you can't see, and then there'll be one over here. So the bartender's clearly drunk behind the bar. But this is the set for a slideshow stop motion animation project. So that'll be all of that. Thank you. Thank you. So I have the whole storyline, the world I've been building, and this is hey, let me do it this way because trying to do 3D animations and 3D modeling is not how that's going to work. So, I'm still attempting to wake up. I have my lovely breakfast of Tostitos. So, I'm mostly just playing let's not stab myself in the finger. Now we gotta turn the camera back. Pizza rolls are delicious. Although, I'm always like 50-50 on any of those frozen like pizzas when they have the pepperoni. Because the pepperoni is like sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. So I usually like to go with the extra cheese ones. But yeah, no, for the most part, we just chill here and I stab plastic things with a needle while attempting to make cohesive designs. Absolutely. Like the pizza bagels, the bagel bites, those are okay. But again, I just prefer that extra cheese. Because it's like if you get the pepperoni, they skimp on the cheese. It's like, no, no, I want just as much cheese with the addition of pepperoni, not let me sacrifice half the cheese for like 3 pieces of pepperoni. So we're gonna tie off this thread to get the next one set up. This way I still have enough room to maneuver the needle to try and tie it off. So I should definitely have enough of this color to finish this floor panel, and then hopefully most, if not all, of a second one as I knock the bartender over again. She can hide over here. So let me see what Discord is yelling at me about. This one, this one, this one. Okay. Now that Discord is done yelling at me. Just, like 15 notifications. I'm like, what do you want? No. No, last time I paid attention to you, Base, I somehow joined a team. No, it's people who haven't gotten a chance to be on Discord like recently. Yes, yes. If Nyla's yelling at me, I'll listen to Nyla. That's the hole I want to go. Yeah, okay. Untwist. In theory. Pull that back and untwist it there. We're gonna battle. This got off centered again. There we go. So I'm trying to make sure I hold the thread from being too twisted, because over here you can kind of see you get a little bit of gaps and it doesn't sit necessarily nicely. Um, it's just a lot smoother looking when everything is untwisted and held down nice and flush. It just makes it look a little cleaner. Yeah, no, I can see how that would like it would get frustrating. Yeah, yeah, no, I get that. I'm like I'm all for, trying to help if they want to learn. Like if they want to say hi, but then if you mention, "Hey, I'm using a translator," go ahead. Yeah, yeah, I could see how that would absolutely get frustrating. But yeah, no, that I could definitely have see that being like one of those little, it's not like a pet peeve, but it's like, okay, I'm trying to use tools. Let me use my tools. You do you. You don't have to worry about trying to go out of your way to accommodate me. I bring my own accommodations. But I mean, with any sort of platform, especially one like Twitch, uh, and the ability to reach all over, it's always like the language barriers are always going to be something you run into. But we have a ad break coming up, so those of you who have to watch the ads, I'll see you when they're gone. I hear an awful lot of noise going on outside, so I'm wondering if the person picking up our old chassis is here. Yeah, I know. Online, it definitely English, at least like part of the time, is like if they go off in a rant in whatever their native language is, sure, fine. But no, it's I'm like half the time I'm going into a foreign language stream because I want to hear the person speaking in their native language, not because I'll understand them, but I don't necessarily have to understand them to appreciate uh like what they're doing, because some things you can just watch and pick up. But yeah, I'm like, listen, I'll pick up the words I understand, and if I don't, I'll ask a question. Or better yet, let's just play charades. Yeah, yeah, no, I can definitely. I can see that when people, because most other countries, they learn English as a second language normally. Yeah. See, but and at that point, like it's if you hold on long enough, then it becomes, oh, you can still traditionally develop films in a dark room, and now it's the popularity increased again because now it's retro, and it's still, you will still have those people who can appreciate the amount of effort it goes into, like, oh yeah, I'm not going to apply a filter, it's what I take the picture of is how it comes out. So I for one can appreciate doing things in the traditional fashion. um Case in point, I'm sitting here doing fancy needlepoint. Well, not quite that fancy needlepoint. I ain't got the patience to do proper needlepoint. But it's like, yeah, I could just go buy clothing, but I can also make it. So I get it. And that's I'm hesitant to use this word, but that's like the politics of any sort of streaming, any sort of doing this type, any influencer or social media type thing where you're putting yourself out there in the world. There's always going to be that, cutthroat undertone. But that's no different than, working in an office and having to deal with the office politics of, if it's like, where you like a proper corporate thing where, you have to apply for promotions or, do any sort of thing with the promotions like that. Not that I would know. I don't work in a proper corporate office, and there's real no career advancement direction for me because I am the entire department, and it's mostly just trying to convince them that I deserve more money for the amount of things I do and how much they'll cry if I'm not there. And I do that by randomly taking off for a week. And when they panic, it's like, guys, everything is under control. We're ahead of the game. But the fact that you panic that I'm not available for like a legally entitled break from everything, there's a problem. And it shouldn't fall on me to solve your problems for you. Did I harvest? Ooh. Am I going to be allowed to plant this? That's what I thought. Okay. Um, Okay. They didn't tell me what else I harvested. Um, okay. Now that that is we got Discord yelling at me again. Sorry, I am a little zoned out at the moment. Okay. I am a little zoned out at the moment. I'm gonna, again, not try and drop the needle. Okay, I don't know if I'm having connectivity issues or somebody else is having connectivity issues. I don't know. Ugh, it's okay. We're just here to chill and work on this floor tile. However, once my mom gets home, I'm gonna have to go pop down, say Happy Mother's Day to her, and I'll take a quick break. Maybe, make myself some coffee or something to go with the monster, because clearly the monster's not doing anything with how ready I am to just crawl back into bed. So we're gonna put that over there. Gonna reset my headphones. See, okay, my car suddenly appeared in the street. So presumably that means whoever needed to be here came and left. Okay. Breakfast of champions with these tortilla chips that you hear me loudly crunching on. I try and unstick myself from the leather seat. Mm. Again, doing things the difficult way. Well, there are miscellaneous bits of chair. Throw that on the pile to deal with later. What happening here? I swear, there's some sort of chaotic gremlin that likes to just tie knots into things that there's no reasonable explanation for how a knot got into it. So, and I know there's probably an explanation with physics, but that's not the explanation I choose to accept today. Okay, that's marginally better. What's that? Hooray! The knot has been banished. Now we can go back to working on this. the worst when you end up sneezing and like you bite your tongue or something. back to working on what is figuring out this RPG. I think what I'm going to do is, once this hits the next round, 2 hours, I am going to break something, walk around for a bit, and then I will stream some more later on tonight. we made good progress so far on this first row of this solar panel. Switch over here. I am going to end my stream for now. Actually, make myself some real food. I'm still fuzzy, and I will hopefully come back and stream some more later tonight. But on that note, I'll see y'all later. Thanks for hanging out. Happy Mother's Day to everybody.